friends, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Anna in case you're new here, and today we're making minestrone soup or minestrone soup, however you want to say it. It's a hearty Italian soup made with lots and lots of vegetables. You can add a little bit of pasta, you can even add chicken, but it's usually just like a vegetarian soup. And it is so divine. It is so good, especially for the fall. So like I said, you're gonna need lots and lots of veggies. So I'm gonna show you what they are. You're gonna need some zucchini, carrots, celery, lots of herbs. So I have rosemary, basil, parsley. You're gonna need an onion. I personally like to use some sweet onions. I feel like it just like complements the tomato paste, like tomato flavor so well. So I like to do a sweet onion. You can use a regular like yellow onion. Potato, you're gonna need some pasta of choice. I prefer like a very tiny little pasta. This is called the Tanini pasta. And it's just like tiny little pieces of pasta that just, ooh, so good. You're gonna need some cannellini beans. These are some tomatoes that I blanched and peeled. It's the best way to peel tomatoes. It just comes out so easily. So you add them to a very hot water. So, okay, let's start from the beginning. You're gonna grab your tomato, you're gonna make a little X right on top. You're gonna add them to a pot of very hot water for about 30 seconds. Then you're gonna transfer them to an ice bath and you will be able to peel them so easy. But if you want, you can just use like a can of diced tomatoes. But I already had these on hand that I had to use, so I did that so I can chop them up and I don't want any of the peel in my actual soup. You're gonna need some vegetable stock. So what I'm doing is I'm using water, and I love to use better than bouillon vegetable base. I pretty much use the beef base, the chicken base. I always have this on hand. It's amazing. Then I have some parm rinds. I just like to save the little rinds whenever I'm done with my Parmesan cheese. And you're gonna need some tomato paste. That is pretty much it. Like I said, you can add chicken. I tend not to do that. I tend just to keep it like very simple. Now that we have all the veggies out of the way, it's time to make our soup. I like to roast my vegetables for this soup. You technically don't have to, but I find that it just provides just incredible flavor. So I personally like to do it, but like I said, you can just add all of the veggies and cook them in your pot for just about like 10 to 15 minutes until they're nice and tender, and then you can add the rest of the ingredients. I'm actually going to dice all of my veggies, which is going to take a little while because it's a lot. But and then I like to pop it in the oven at 450 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes until they're nice and roasted, and the flavor it provides, amazing. By the way, can we talk about my really cute apron? My room parents gave it to me for Teacher Appreciation Week, and I am so in love with it. It's so cute. So if you're watching this video, thank you. And for those of you that don't know, I'm a kindergarten teacher, and I have the best parents that give me the best things. Like, how cute is this apron? So let me start chopping my veggies because it's gonna take a while, and I'll meet you back here for the next step. This is my last little shop, and everything, it's ready to go. So you can see I have onions here. I have my tomatoes, which I diced as well. And then I have my potatoes, my zucchini, celery, and carrots. If you know me, you know that I'm not a huge fan of celery, but I'm learning to eat them more. I usually add them to soups, but I add them whole and then I remove them. But I don't want to do that anymore. I need to learn how to eat them, so I'm forcing myself to eat them. And the way I do it is by cutting them very tiny, because they're just kind of like blend into the soup until I get more used to the taste, and then I'll eventually like them. But so veggies are ready to go. So here's what I'm gonna do. Honestly, I can just like add them to the pot. So I'm gonna start adding my veggies to my Dutch oven. My oven's already preheated as well. So all of my veggies are gonna go in there, and then let me do this with my bench scraper because I can get more at a time. Onions, and then I also want to say that you can pretty much make this soup with whatever veggies you have on hand. It's just like that incredible. Like, you can use whatever you have You can add, if you have green beans, add green beans. If you have yellow squash, add yellow squash instead. You can just pretty much do whatever veggies you have on hand. These are the ones that I usually have, so those are the ones that I like to use, but pretty much whatever you have. Our tomatoes go in. I just like to give everything a good mix, just like that. I'm going to add a nice little drizzle of olive oil, about 2 to 3 tablespoons. And I'm also going to season it with some salt. Okay, you want to give everything a good mix. I'm going to add in some of the rosemary. Okay, so my veggies are going to go into my oven. Remember, it's at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna put it uncovered so the veggies get like a beautiful roast, and I'll be back for the next step. Veggies were in the oven for 20 minutes and they smell so yummy. So now it's time to add the rest of the ingredients. We have our can of cannellini beans. I am going to drain them very quickly. We add it to our pot. By the way, if you don't have a pot that you can put into the oven and take it out and use on the stove, just roast your veggies in a, I'm taking out the rosemary, by the way. Probably should do this with tongs, but that's okay. If you don't have a pot that you can do that with, then just go ahead and roast your veggies in a baking dish, and then you can just add it to a pot and do the rest. So I am going to, like I said, add the rest of my ingredients. I'm just looking for the little sprig of rosemary that's here. It's already served its purpose. It's already provided flavor, so it doesn't need to be there any more. And this looks beautiful. Smells so good. Okay, so rosemary. I like to add in the basil just like this. I just roughly chop it with my hands. Add it to the pot. My minced parsley. And then I like to add about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. That should be good enough. My water. I'm gonna start with 4 cups of water. If I find that it needs a little bit more, by the time I need to add the pasta, then I'll add a little bit more because the pasta is going to soak up some of the liquid. So we might have to add some more. My roasted vegetable base, I'm gonna add about 3 teaspoons of this to 4 to 5 cups of water. We're gonna add in our parm rinds and some black pepper. And I'm also going to add in another pinch of salt. So you can see, look at that, beautiful. Can't wait to dig into this. We are going to cover it and let it cook on medium-low heat for about 30 to 40 minutes until everything's nice and tender. The soup gets a little thicker, and that's pretty much it. It's been 40 minutes. My soup is looking fabulous. Everything is nice and tender. Now it's time to add in our pasta. I did have to add an extra cup of water because it was getting a little too thick for my liking, and the pasta, the starch in the pasta is going to essentially thicken up your soup a little bit more. So I personally don't want it too thick, but I'm just gonna let my pasta cook for about 8 minutes and we're done. It's been 8 minutes and my soup could not look better. It just looks absolutely delicious. So I am going to go ahead, oops, wait, I need to find the parm that we added because I don't want to eat that. And I think it kind of like melted into the soup. But anyways, if you find like the hard parts, just remove that from your final dish. So here we go. Oh, so yum. Perfect. We finish it off with some extra parm. There we go. Some black pepper. And I like to add a little bit of just sliced basil. And here you go, your minestrone soup. Now comes my favorite part, which I think is everyone's favorite part, and it is the time to eat. Oh, it just smells so wonderful. It's like a warm hug. I think we should change the name of soup to warm hug in a cup, because that is exactly what this tastes like. Just so warm and hearty, perfect for a nice chilly fall day. I don't really know what that's like because I live in Miami, but sometimes we get like a nice, like a degree goes from like 90 to like 70, and then that's like the most fall we can get, or winter. And that's when we bring out these delicious soups. For those of you that actually get beautiful weather this time of year, this is absolutely perfection. You guys must make this recipe. Written recipe on my website, anitasdelightsrecipes.com. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.